Hello my art club peeps. I'm here to do my very first painting lesson as promised. What we're going to do today is we're going to blend in the sky. I'm going to put a couple of trees on here and maybe just add a little bit of detail in here. So I just want to show you guys how to do that. And first off, I wanted to tell you how the painting came to be like this so that you guys know what I did. It was first a pour painting, or a swipe, I guess. I covered the canvas. It was an older painting that I didn't like. So I covered the canvas with white paint. And when we get into pouring, I'll show you how to mix the white paint to do that. And then I took the colored paints. I used some aqua. I'm pretty sure I used this Caribbean. And I used a little bit of burnt umber in there just for the brown. And I as well used, I put it away, some primary sienna for the blue. This was before I got my supplies from Michael, so I used some of my golden paints for that. And what I did is when the canvas was wet with white paint, I drizzled in up to about here with a little bit of blue and turquoise, tiny bit of brown. I did use some more white in there as well. So I had a line of different colors up to here, and then I took some paper towel and I cut it in a diagonal, and you wet it. You wet it so that it sticks better and it drags better. So what I did is I made sure that that paper towel was stuck completely, had grabbed at all the paint there, and I very slowly pulled it across the canvas and off the edge. Once you've used one, you discard of it. You could even cut these in half and use, like, have two. Paper towels kind of, I find it to be expensive, so if you're going to use it, get the cheap stuff. You can use other things like cardboard and cards and stuff to swipe, but I find the paper towel easy because you don't really need, like, you don't have to worry about the pressure of your hand, right? So you're just grabbing at that and you're just pulling. And then you're grabbing a new piece of paper towel wet on the end, grabbing at those lines of paint and just pulling down. So when you're using a card or cardboard or something like that, you have to worry about the pressure of your hand, because if you push down too hard, you're going to scrape most of that paint off and not get those colors in there. Or if you're too light, you're not going to be able to pull as much. So I find paper towel to be the easiest way, maybe not the best, like money wise, but and that's what I did. So I just continued to pull until I got a waterfall effect that I really liked. And then I stared at it for a few days and Googled some waterfalls just to see what I wanted to do. So I realized that it needed obviously some rocks and a background in there. So I, with some burnt umber there, and burnt sienna, which are two of my favorite colors when doing landscapes. I love burnt umber. I use it for all my trees. I used that to put a little bit of rock in there. I highlighted it. It's really hard to see. I'm sorry, my lighting is not good. I used a little burnt sienna in there as well to lighten it up. Over here, I used just white acrylic paint with a big fluff, like a round, bristly paintbrush. And I just, very dry brush. I didn't use a lot of water with the effect to get kind of the steamy effect. I used very little water. And so I put a little bit of paint on the dry brush. And I just, in very circly, kind of went over that to make it look like, you know, the water that's coming up like that. Yeah, and then I just wanted to add a little bit in there. But I realized, like, looking at that, that's not right. Like, if a waterfall is coming over there, there needs to be some white frothy in there to make it look like it's hitting the rocks and stuff. I as well got to do that in this little area here, which I'll be doing today. Hopefully, I'm going to do as much as I can. And I'm going to put a little tree in here. Maybe a little tree friend. Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to blend the sky. I'm going to start with that today. I'm just going to put it's really, I hope you guys can see this. I know it's not really ideal. When I'm blending it, I'll bring it closer so you guys can see. I just kind of want to show you the colors that I'm going to use for the sky today. So we have some, I'm going to use some yellow. What did I grab? I just used some cadmium yellow. I believe. I can't find any more, but cadmium yellow and white to start off with, because I'm going to choose to do yellows and blues. I think instead of like pinks and purple sunsets, I find that yellows and blues will go really good with these colors in the painting. So that's the kind of sunset I'm going to do. I'm going to start off here. You use a lot of water for blending. Use quite a bit of water. I have my cup of water here. And to blend the sky, I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use this little paintbrush here. It's a flat square one. I just got them. It's silicone. Silicone's really good for blending skies, like sunsets I find. Bristle ones are good for doing kind of like smoky look, and acrylic are really good for blending and use water. So I will bring it closer when I'm doing it. I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do to blend the paint. So I'm going to start off with white right down at the bottom and blend a little bit of yellow into it. Then I have a little bit of, I believe I used the Caribbean blue and the primary sand blue. So I wanted to bring a few of the colors from the waterfall into the sky. It just kind of brings the whole situation together. So I'm going to wet my paintbrush really, really good. Really good there. I'm going to grab at quite a bit of white here. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. So I'm getting some white. This is harder to do than I thought. I'm going to get some white on there. And I'm just going to add that to the bottom part of my painting. So right in the sky. So I feel like the sun is setting over in this area. So I'm going to just put some white in there, get it nice and wet with white. Oops, I'm going a little bit over my cliffs, but that's okay. So I got in there with white. The ideal, what I should have done first, and I wasn't thinking, was I should have done the sky first and then done all the cliffs and stuff. Because it's just making it a little harder that I have to, oops, and then I go over my cliffs. It's making it a little harder that I have to go, like, avoid those cliffs. So anyway, do the sky first. I'm going to start adding a little bit of yellow, so I'm going to put some more water in there. I'm going to grab some yellow here. Not a ton. I'm scared it's a kind of a bright yellow, so I'm going to mix it. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. So I have some white on there already. And I'm just going to mix it with some yellow, but I want it to be like a really light yellow. I did not have a really light yellow. If you have a really light yellow, that's great. I'm blending mine. So I got kind of a, oh, this lighting is horrible. I got kind of a lighter yellow there, if you can see. Now I'm going to go in. I'm going to add just a little touch more water to my paintbrush with that light yellow. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to start just blending in a little bit of that yellow. So the sun setting over in this area. We'll blend in lots of water, some base paint there, a little bit of yellow. And like right off the bat, right down here, it's going to be, I'd find maybe a little brighter yellow, because that, I don't know if you guys can see, I hope you guys can see this. A little bit of brighter yellow down here. There, sorry, you guys probably couldn't see that before. Just where the sun would be setting. It's kind of going to be brighter in that area. All right, there. There we go. And then I'm going to go back in with some white and lighter yellow, and some water. Get back in there with the lighter yellow. Got lots of water on my brush. My brush is fairly wet. I got quite a bit of water on there. It's hard to do. So I'm just going to keep blending the yellow up. I believe it's just as you would think that the sunset. And I like to do the edges of my paintings. I have to cover that up, but I don't like when the edges are left blank, because if you don't frame it then and you just have it on the canvas, it looks kind of funny. So I like to definitely do my edges there. Can you see? All right, so I'm gonna add more water, definitely, and more light yellow here. So can you see me? There we go. And probably gonna go to about here. I'd assume it's starting to get dark, probably over in that area. That's probably where I'm gonna want to put more blue, right? More turquoisey blue. Yeah, for our sky here. That's looking okay. Yeah. Whoop. There. That's better. All right, so I'm gonna start blending a little bit of blue in there. I'm going to put some more water. Now I want to wipe off my brush now because I got lots of yellow on there, and if you add it into blue it's going to cause green, which is okay. It's going to be a little green, but we don't want a lot of green. So I'm going to wipe off my brush best I can, dip it in some more water there, and I'm going to grab at that the Caribbean blue color. So again, this is really, really dark, so I'm going to add it to some white to get kind of a lighter, because you want more lighter colors. The sky's really, it's supposed to be more of a lighter color. So that, I'm going to grab some more water. Let's get that really watered down. So now I got kind of a really light blue. I'm going to come in over here. Ooh, I'm going to try and blend it a little bit in here. That's actually looking pretty good. Can you see a little bit of blending in here? So, and I like the effect I'm getting as I put my brush flat back and forth. I like how the effect is coming with it brushing over the yellow there. So I'm gonna, a little bit more water. I feel like I'm not blending good enough. Oh, there we go. So as you see, as you add water like that, it just blends wonderfully like that. So I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna put a little blue down here. Oh yeah, that looks good. Oop. And you can always go back over your rocks. Like I'm going to go back over my rocks after to kind of fix them and whatever. So I'm going to put some more blue up here, coming in with the blue. So I got, again, the Caribbean mixed with some white and a lot of water. And I'm coming up here and I'm going to blend in this blue. I really like this blue. I don't even know if I should go any darker. I might in the corner. I'm going to go a little darker in the corner with a darker blue. But I might, let's see, more water. And this is how I paint. I'm just back and forth like this. But I'm going to keep going in with this blue here. And again, I like to do my whole canvas. So coming in. Oh, that looks pretty good. I'm going to come in with more. I'm going to mix a little bit more here. The white. Some water. Come up here with the canvas. Top. See me? There we go. There we go. And I'm going to kind of just go over here. Again, I'm going to put some more darker in that corner there. I feel like this is a little, I don't know. I feel it's a little too yellow. I'm going to add some white. Some more white right in here. I feel it, yeah, I feel it's a little too much. So I'm going to add some more white in. It's a little bright for me. That wasn't the effect. I wanted to go more for the dull effect. So I'm going to add some more water and some more white into this color here. Oops. That's okay. And blend. And blend. And blend. There we go. There. That's a little bit more, I find that's a little bit more comfortable. I'm also going to get rid of a little bit more yellow over here. I feel there's too much yellow over there. Come in with some more white, water, and just kind of blend that yellow away. That's what I like about painting, is that if you don't like what you've done, if you're not happy with what you see, you can always paint over top, right? Like this was a completely different painting before I started this. It was a pole painting with a string that looked kind of like a bird, and I did not like it at all. So I decided to use the canvas again. All right. Okay, so now I've blended in most of the sky. Over here, I'm going to add in a little dark up here, just a little dark. I'm going to try with the primary cyan, I think it's called. It's this dark blue color. And that is, it's hard to see. That is in the waterfall as well. So I wanted to add a little bit. It is a golden paint, so it is very, golden paints go a really long way. I put way too much on my palette for this work or whatever, but it's hard to judge as well. So golden paints go a long way. Ooh, that color, it's pretty dark. So I'm gonna pull this in. I feel like it's a little too dark for me. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna blend it in here because again, if I don't like it, I can just add lighter colors to it. I'm gonna get down here and kind of pull it in like this. And up here as well. In my corner again. It's kind of hard to paint like this. I wish the camera reached all the way back. I feel though, oh, that's kind of, I feel though that we can't see that far back. So I keep pulling it forward. I actually like that effect of that blue. So I'm going to pull it over here a little bit more. I think that I'm going to use some water to blend. So water really, you know, it really brings the colors, blends the colors together really well. And the acrylic paintbrushes I find are the easiest to blend with. Grab some more water and pull that over here. I'm just going to pull it into the other blue like that. It's not really wanting to stick to this, but I'm going to use a little bit, maybe more color, more darker color, more effect in there. You guys can see this. I'm not being there. Ooh. Oopsie, oopsie, I oopsied there. So I'm going to grab some more water and I'm going to put that, tone that down a little bit. Maybe a little bit white and blue there. Oopsie. And I'm using a really light hand here. I'm not really pressing hard, as you saw. As I pressed hard there, I kind of oopsied. So I'm using a really light hand here, trying to blend in the sky. There. A little bit more. I'm going to grab some more of the light blue and the white, the lighter blue, and pull that back in. I feel like there's too much of that dark blue in there. A little bit too much. So take a little bit of that out. There we go. So we're doing the sky. I'm going to come down over here and I'm going to fix this a little bit after the fact with the mountains. I got some on the mountains there. So I'm going to fix that after. I'm going to come down, let that not mess with the sky anymore, and let it dry. So I'm pleased with my sky. I did not go on the edge of here, so I'm just going to finish that up here, over on the edge, like that. I chose not to put any clouds in my sky this time, which I usually do add clouds, but blend that a little bit more. A little bit more blending in there. All right. So I'm going to leave my sky be for now. Just a little bit more right there. Okay. All right, so I'm going to pause this video and I'm going to get ready to do the tree with you guys, and I'm going to pause.